changing lives.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk here at the studios of Hope TV Ghana. It's Wednesday and we are back again with another interesting topic. This one is a sad one, and we are hoping as usual that at the end of the conversation we are able to help this young lady who has sent in her story. My name is Evie, the usual host for the show. I come your way every Wednesday in the studios of Hope TV with Real Talk. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana, so you can stream live on these channels. You can also join the conversation by leaving your comments under the comment section, and I will do my best to read them as we go on with our discussion. You know, one of the things that you hear, especially in these parts of the world, I would speak for Ghana, it's about abuse of power in the workplace. You know, where a boss is abusing his power over a subordinate, usually in terms of man-woman relationship. So a situation where a boss wants usually a younger girl in the office, or could probably be just a woman in general in the office, wants them in an intimate way, in a romantic way. And then when the woman decides that they are not interested, it becomes a problem. The boss will use the authority that they have to make their lives miserable. And this is not to say that it's not happening to men. I mean, we are now in a society where mature women are going after young guys and they're going to make their lives miserable just because they said no to them. And these young people who are trying to start out their career find themselves in situations like this, and it is so difficult to come out. I mean, we all know the situation in Ghana with regards to job search, job hunt. It's not easy. I mean, to come out of school and get a job now, it's a blessing. It's not even a privilege anymore. It's not even an expectation. It is literally a blessing. And so you find the job and you're happy with the job, hoping that you can build your career from there. And then you have a boss who decides that you are going to be my target, and if I don't get you, I'm going to make your life miserable. It's just one of the most unfortunate situations to find yourself in. And unfortunately, there's this young girl who has, who finds herself in this situation. You know, she's trying everything she can. She's young. She's asking what to do. The boss is older. We are going to go into the story that we've titled, "I rejected my boss's proposal, and now he's making my life unbearable." It's rather sad. I'll go ahead and introduce my panelists to you so that we can have the conversation. In the studio with me, I have Joseph Obinche. Joseph you've seen before, but he has been on Zoom. Today he's in the studio with us. Joseph, how are you doing?
I'm good. Evie, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. We usually see you on Zoom like miles and miles away.
Right.
Is it a miracle that you're in the studio?
Yeah, of course it is.
But then how have you been coming to Ghana? How long has it been since you came to Ghana last?
Oh, just 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago. Has anything changed for you?
I would say so, yeah. I was driving through Accra today. It was terrible.
It was, eh?
The traffic, too many people, like roads, construction here and there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was terrible, but it wasn't bad.
The Accra traffic is always terrible, but it is more so terrible when it's getting to the end of the year.
Exactly.
My mother always used to say that people from some places join us when it's getting to the end of the year. Because she doesn't understand how crazy it is. But you're happy to have you in the studio.
I'm happy to be in the studio too. Like, happy to see you in person.
Yes, yes, good to see you in person. Joining me virtually, I have Ifwa Durago Amwa. Ifwa, if you can hear me, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you. And you?
Yes, if you could speak up a bit for me. I can hear you, but it's not so clear or loud enough.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. How are you doing?
Okay. I'm very fine, by God's grace, and you?
I'm also fine. I was wondering why you're not in the studio, because Hope TV is like your second home, isn't it? But it's good to have you anyway. I hope you're ready for the conversation.
Yeah, I think so. I am good.
Right. The next person joining me virtually as well, all the way in the States, is Eric Asamoah. Eric, good evening. How are you doing? Good evening from my side. How are you doing?
Good evening, Evia. I'm doing well. How are you too?
I'm very well, thank you. How is everybody there back at home with you?
Yeah, everyone is doing great. And also greetings to Matthew, the entire technical team. I also greet Joseph, and it's good to also have Brago here.
Yeah.
And Brago is she's my junior sister.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's great. Her mother is also my mother as well,
Oh.
Abuanana.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Today it's all about family reunion.
Absolutely.
Everybody here, we are meeting either for the first time or we are just seeing each other to have a nice reunion. And it's good that we are all together. I hope you're ready to start the conversation.
Absolutely. Ready.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to go into the discussion and read our story so that we will have the clear picture. It says, I rejected my boss's proposal and now he's making my life unbearable. After completing university, dear Real Talk, after completing my university studies, I was excited to secure a job right after my national service. I started as a temporary staff, but our workplace dynamics changed when a new managing director joined our team. Shortly after his arrival, he approached me expressing his appreciation for my work. A week later, I received a letter confirming my permanent employment. I was overjoyed, especially when he appointed me as his personal assistant, a role I dreamt about always. However, things took an unexpected turn a month later. My new manager began making inappropriate advances towards me. I always politely rejected his advances. He completely ignored my lack of interest and eventually asked me out. I made him aware I wasn't interested in any romantic relationship because I want to focus solely on my job. Following my refusal, he started making my work life unbearable. He stripped me of my position as his personal assistant and started assigning me overwhelming tasks. When I struggled to meet the targets, he publicly humiliates me in front of my colleagues. Being young and ambitious, I never anticipated facing such challenges in the workplace. However, this situation has left me feeling bullied and discouraged. I can no longer endure this mistreatment and desperately want to find another job where I can work in a respectful and supportive environment. I need help to navigate this difficult situation and move forward with my career. I really want to report him to the head office, but I'm scared of what might happen to me if I take such actions against him. Kindly advise. It's rather sad, as I said earlier, that this young lady finds herself in this situation. Hopefully at the end of the discussion, we'll be able to come up with some tips, some pointers here and there to the problem so that she can find some solution and then enjoy her work life. I mean, after national service, that's what's working. National service working averagely, 24, at most 25. So this is not something she should be going through. But Joseph, what's going through your mind? What's your general take on the story?
Thank you, Evie. First of all, let me just say hi to our cherished viewers for following Real Talk. It's surprisingly, I have friends that every time I post the flyer on my status, they be like, "Oh, we've been watching this show." So I mean, I think it's going far. People are really enjoying the program. So you guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.
When I heard about the story, like I was discussing with you backstage, trust me, like this is so disgusting.
Right.
This is despicable. Like,
Right.
I mean, how do we go about as a nation when we go about saying the youth are the future of this country or the future of every country, but yet we want to go ahead and bully, humiliate people?
Yeah.
It is so pathetic. Like, it's unfortunate. This is the reason why I think, and I believe Eric would agree to this. Some people that happen to be in abroad will be grateful to God for such opportunity being over there, because I wouldn't say it doesn't happen. It do happen, but to the extent where people have to leave jobs or people are stuck with some bosses because of this kind of situation, come on, no. Because you're literally walking out of this job this minute and then the next second, you have another job. So the jobs are so many, so much out there that we don't even have enough people to work it. So these situations do not really happen, or like do not cause people to get to like points where they are stuck and they have to bring their cases for people to just advise them. But I would say the general thing I think about this is she should do the right thing.
Yeah.
She just go ahead and just report this boss to the headquarters, or but then I know we'll come to this. We'll come to it, but I would just say she should just go ahead and do the right thing.
And do the right thing, right. Eric, I'll come to you because Joseph has obviously pointed out that this doesn't happen in the States, or it doesn't happen abroad. What is your opinion on that? I would ask for your general opinion on this story, and is it something that you have heard or seen happening abroad since you live there?
Okay, thank you once again. Like Joseph said, you can find such situations over here in Germany, but when you compare this situation to that of Ghana, there is a vast difference because in Ghana sometimes because of lack of jobs, mostly you have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So whatever you plan is that just to stay in the job, because at the end of the day, when you leave the job, you find it very difficult in also getting another job to do. So this situation, like for me personally, I say we should, discuss it so broadly, not particularly with this lady, because it's happening every now and then, every fortnight it's happening. But yet, because people don't have where to take their issues to. I remember when we were about to start the program, Joseph were, having some discussion at the back door. Sometimes I sit down to ask myself, what the NLC, what are they doing at all? Talking of the National Labour Commission. Because there are laws that, people can channel through their, grievances, but yet we don't see it as such. So basically, with this particular issue that we are discussing, the lady finds it so difficult. Imagine completing university, completing, whichever source of education that you had, and going around begging for job. It's neither here nor there. Because at the end of the day, your parents have pumped huge sums of money into your education. And after completing school, there you go in for job. After completing your national service, it's also another trauma. So I think we'll be going through a lot, but just not to speak so much. I think you cannot find it as such over here as compared to that of our home country, Ghana, because for here, most of our laws, it works.
Yeah.
So it's not easy just to tame someone that if you do this, if I propose to you and you don't accept, I'll just terminate your appointment, do this or that. It doesn't happen over here.
That's good to know, and it's rather unfortunate that Ghana we experience this. If I am here with you in this country, you've heard, you've seen. I mean, this is what is happening, and for a young girl, especially for women, when they say we are the vulnerable of the gender, these are some of the situations where we can say we are vulnerable. What is your take on this story generally? And then I would ask, let's discuss abuse of power, in the office setting, where using this case obviously as a case study, but speaking in general, where a boss uses their authority or power to just make your life miserable and undermine your potential. He'll just label you, okay, I didn't get her, and so she becomes useless. Right. I want your general take, and then what's your opinion on the abuse of power, especially in office settings?
Well, honestly, growing up, I thought these things happened in movies, to be very honest. I thought these things happened in movies until I started, associating myself with the professional society. And it really happens, and it's rather unfortunate that it's the women who are publicly and obviously being the victims of these kind of really disgusting acts. I feel like it's really disgusting because why would you employ me and then right after employment you start abusing me emotionally, it gets further to physical abuse, and then if you don't take care you're sacked from the job. And I really think the laws of the country are not effective. To be honest, it's not, and it's very obvious because
Yeah.
some of these things that happened, if you're a whistleblower, it's rather unfortunate that the laws that govern whistleblowing doesn't even support you. So no matter what you do, it's like it's either you stay or you leave because these things,
Yeah.
it's like they are here to stay. It has become so normal
Yeah.
that even if you talk about it, there's nothing anyone is doing about it. It's either they'll tell you leave or if you can stay and endure. Meanwhile, you are there to find financial stability. You're there to find, you're there to find yourself. Yeah, you are working on yourself to be able to fit into the society that we're in. And I mean, Ghana is hard.
Right.
Ghana is hard. So for you to be able to find something you're doing and then as you're in it and then you're trying to do something for yourself and then all of these things are happening around you, this kind of physical, sexual harassment things are happening, it's not even going to make you mentally stable to be able to be effective at work. So I think it's really troubling, honestly. It is
Yeah.
really, really troubling. And I don't know, there are no number of protests that have worked I don't think I have seen any protest that has actually worked on behalf of these complaints that are coming up. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. And it's sad. It's really
Yeah.
sad because
Yeah.
it looks like there's nothing we can do. Meanwhile, it is really, really, really worrying. Like it's really bad. It's not
Yeah.
something that should be happening at all in the work, especially in the workplaces.
Yeah.
Because that particular sector is supposed to be a professional society. It's supposed to be governed with ethics and all of those things, with the laws, but then nobody follows it. Nobody does, and it's
Yeah.
really sad. Honestly, it's just sad.
Yeah, it's terrible, and like you keep repeating, it's just sad. There's no other way to describe it. It's just sad. I go to school, I land a job, and now it reminds me of those times when you're going to school and you know there's mental and you're afraid to walk into
Right.
school. So now I'm going to work and I'm afraid to walk into
Going
work.
to work,
Am I
yeah.
back to class 5?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any
Right.
sense. And it's just terrible. I know in the States there was this Me Too movement that was going on where it was abuse of power in the entertainment industry or Hollywood or something.
Right.
And now they had this movement that was so huge. And to hear Ifa saying that there's no protest that is working. And
So unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
Right.
But abuse of power, Joseph, what do you have to say about it?
I would say, yeah, in as much as we are talking about looking at people doing this disgusting thing, I believe sometimes the abuse of power it is natural with human beings. It's not good, yes, but it's natural with human beings where people get into positions where they think they have to use their power. We live in a country where things are hard.
Hey.
The whole thing is they know those people who are bullying people and abusing their powers know exactly that the people that are like those they see them abusing them do not have any option.
Yeah.
They don't have anybody to talk to. They have no organizations like we are discussing.
Even if they are there,
If they are,
not
it's not even effective. There are no laws in this country that is working. So I think they have to so they will keep on abusing people in as much as they can. But it's up to you, the person who is being abused. Sometimes I believe it's up to you to also, in your own way, you cannot challenge the cause of fixing everything in Ghana. But like I was telling you earlier on, depends on how the whole thing started. Let me use this story as an example. So, things does not happen overnight in this country.
Yeah, no.
So you finish national service, then there is new manager or director, bumps you up, gives you like permanent staff. In just 1 week, promotes you to be a personal assistant. Of course, you should know that something is coming up.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, let's face reality and let's speak the truth. We are looking in a system where if I live in a system where I know systems work, country that system works, that is different.
Yeah.
But I'm working because I know wherever I'm working, I will get promoted out of my hard work.
Yeah.
I earn it. I deserve it. But if I'm working in a situation like I live in a country where things do not happen overnight. So if my boss starts smiling at me, if my boss starts appreciating my work out of nothing, This is a person who just came in, and just 1 week he started always like smiling at you, appreciating your work and all that, and you think nothing is coming up. Come on now, you understand? So it's like these things people giving the room for. I think to some extent, some females or like some people giving it a room, giving the power. I give this guys the room to operate. Like if I want to, I start having some conversation with you, Evie, and right from the get go, Joseph, stop. It's not gonna go anywhere.
This is your boss, though, Joseph.
Yeah, it's about time that people.
If he comes and say, "Oh, good work, I'm promoting you," say, "Oh, don't promote."
No, I'm not saying the promotion. I'm talking about after the promotion and this advances start coming.
She said she rejected it.
She rejected it, but like I was saying, if you have a legit appointment letter appointing you into this office, then you can do not be afraid.
Yeah.
If you have a legit, people get promoted without being legitimately like.
Oh, I get.
There's no appointment letter or like promoting them to the next level.
Just word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Or because that like what I'm saying, just because she is nice or like this, somebody start appreciating you in just 1 week of being in the office without getting to know you very well, knowing that you're a nice girl or you're a lady.
Right.
So right from the get-go, what I'm trying to say is we should put in measures as a person that you have been abused. Put in measures where it's not like in a polite way, like that she was saying, in a very polite way, just trying to let this guy know that it's not going to work.
Right.
And if you have a legit appointment letter promoting you to that level, then she should fight her course.
Yeah, and that was my next question to you before I get to Eric. Should she go ahead and report him? And then what are some of the consequences she might?
Trust me, Evie, regardless, you're going to get fired. Like if what I was saying, trust me, systems do not work. So it gets to a point where now she's being humiliated.
Yeah.
Whatever she's doing, the boss do not appreciate it. Trust me, in the next few weeks, I'm telling you, your dismissal letter or maybe your transfer is going out of this place. Like it will get to a point where it will get to like the worst case scenario. So why don't I take advantage of now that I'm still in the office? And if you have evidence, that's what the next thing I was about to say. If she has evidence of this abuse, if she has evidence of this humiliation or sexual harassment, maybe via text messages, maybe some gift that he's just sharing on her, or phone calls, something to prove, something to have, like something to lean on, then she should just challenge the course. The worst case scenario, she'll get fired or she'll get transferred. And maybe she may be transferred or she may get fired, but it will stop or hinder this person from going on to the next person.
Yeah, if she reports.
If she reports.
It's a record now.
It's a record now.
Right.
And maybe there might be an investigation into the situation.
Yeah. That's true. I completely agree because even if you go ahead and report and it leads to you getting fired, like Joseph clearly said, with the way this man is going, he can wake up one day and say, you are useless to me anyway. Get out of the office. So you are losing your job whether you report or you don't report.
Right.
And if you are transferred, good riddance.
Exactly.
You get to work in another office space. That is hopefully more conducive. Eric, I'm going to come to you. I don't know if you have more to talk about your opinion on abuse in general, the abuse of power. But then my question would be, what should this girl do? Should she go ahead and report as she's thinking? And if she does, what are some of the consequences that she should expect to face so that she's prepared for whatever the outcome is?
Okay, thanks once again, Evie. Let's be realistic here. Something was going through my mind before Joseph ended. Both the man and the lady in question, they are not here with us now.
No.
But also, just to also be truthful to ourselves, it's so obvious right after national service, you are being promoted to take such a position.
Of course.
For me personally, probably I might think there was something fishy or something, between the two.
Thank you.
As we normally say, it takes two to tango.
Right.
Probably the lady might have come out to say what is, for her on her part would be okay for her, but also to hear on the other side of the man in question. Moving ahead on the abuses, that's why I earlier stated the National Labor Law of Ghana. Let me quickly run you through this, the Constitution of Ghana as amended on 16 December 1966. No, the Chapter 5 covers the fundamental human rights, freedom. Section 12.2 states that every person in Ghana, whatever their race, place, origin, political opinion, color, or region, shall be entitled to the fundamental human rights and freedom of the individual contained in this chapter, but subject to the respect of the freedoms of others for public interest. It goes down to the equality. So that's where I'm much particular in. The Labor Act introduces the offense of sexual harassment. Section 175 defines it as any unwelcome, offensive, or inopportune sexual advances or requests made by an employer or superior officer or a co-worker to a worker, whether the worker is a man or a woman. So that is where our what the Constitution says. But because of a lack of jobs, and probably sometimes we feel so, that if I go out there to report my superior, I go out there to report my manager, at the end of the day, I'm being fired. What is the next line of action?
Yeah.
The law must work.
Yeah.
So in such cases like this, if the lady in question moves ahead, just to tell the NLC what the whole problem is, and if the NLC is going to do their work exactly as is expected of them, I think our country will be moving, a headway, as we see now. Because in most cases, like I earlier said, it's very difficult after completing school, finding job, and whatever. So people feel like, okay, let me just put this under the carpet, and it goes just like that. And every time, people, go through a lot of trauma. And like you said, what are some of the consequences that she will go through? The consequences is that probably, believe you me, she is the caretaker of the house. Make sure the family gets well fed every day. So in such an occurrence like this, the lady might also think that, okay, if I go out there to report my boss and my appointment is, or my work is terminated, what am I going to eat with my family? That's also another question. So in most cases, what is the ongoing, issues out there is as a result of lack of jobs in the country. And like Joseph was saying, that is the reason why most of our youth, we are losing most of our professionals day in and day out, just moving out from Ghana to seek greener pasture. So, to end by saying the NLC should do their work, they should crack their whip. The check and balances, together must, take position. Because other than that, we will be here every day, sacrificing your airtime for such discussions every now and then, but to no avail.
Yeah, it's rather
so
sad.
I think, Joseph commended you and your team. You are doing a great job as part of your social responsibility, making sure that our country move forward.
Yeah.
So we applaud you. I think once you have started like this, the campaign will continue to go on, so that we make sure at least we get to the bottom of the whole issue.
Thank you, Eric, and we are grateful that you have recognized what we are doing. We hope that a lot more people will just add their voices, so that it will be loud enough, so that we can get the help that we need. Before I go for a break, I would ask you, maybe this boss just spotted her, gave her the appointment, just so he would get access to her easily.
Exactly.
PADA, wherever I go, you go.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, very direct connection. So he saw, he said, oh, how can I get this girl? Let me make her as my PA. And now in this situation where she's in, I don't know how their HR policies are in her office space and how it works, and if they are responsible enough to handle the situation. But if she is bold and she goes ahead to go and report this man, what are some of the consequences she might face? And if she's going to report, what are some of the things she must make sure she has? You know, Joseph spoke about some text messages, some phone calls, gifts, whatever. What do you think? How should she prepare herself before she goes to report? And what are some of the outcomes she should expect, unfortunately?
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for asking that. And then just like Joseph said, he mentioned the evidence that she should be gathering. Because in Ghana, if you don't have proof, your case is a foolish case. I'm sorry to say.
Even when you have
It's a
proof.
foolish case. That's how
It's
we
not
all
going
take
anywhere.
it. Because
Yeah.
you will go and present your case to the courts, and without enough or substantial evidence, it's not going anywhere. And
Yeah.
especially just like how Eric said that she being promoted to the PA definitely probably had something to do with the man. It's already at the back of those who are bringing the case. It's already at the back of their minds that
Exactly.
if you're reporting sexual harassment, then probably you might have led him on,
Yeah.
or you may have
1 week.
started something with him. That is why he continued to make advances towards you. It's already at the back of our minds. I mean, like Ghanaian society, the African society, or whatever society it is that we find ourselves in, it's already there. That notion is there already. Because if a lady is rising up in the society, it's associated with, oh, she slept with this man, oh, she slept with her boss to get to this particular position that she is in. Meanwhile, the lady might have actually really, really forced. She might have done everything that she's supposed to do, ethically, professionally, academically. She might have done everything legit, right? But then it's rather unfortunate and it's quite disrespectful, I mean, on the side of women to say that no matter what, there was something fishy going on. Because who knows? What if it wasn't like that? It could be like that. It could also not be like that. But then
Right.
I think she should prepare herself mentally and physically. She should prepare because she's going to present her case to the court. She's going to avail herself. She's going to be vulnerable in the eyes of the society, in the eyes of public scrutiny. Everybody, it's not everybody that's going to take her side. Just like Eric said, people are going to find it fishy. That's why did he promote just you to be the personal assistant? Why didn't he go for a guy? I mean, why did he want you in particular? Aren't there any other girls in the department? Why is it only you? So she should prepare herself to be vulnerable because people are going to talk, sorry to say, trash about you. No, they don't even know who you are, your background, where you're from. They don't know anything about you. But just by the case on the table, they're going to say anything they want to say. And she should get her proof, honestly. She should. If it is audios, text messages, phone calls, anything, there are even instances where if he touches you in the office or anything like, I mean, it should happen. All the evidences that you're submitting should happen during work hours because if he makes advancement towards you after work hours, it's not anything that has to be reprimanded. He doesn't have to be reprimanded by that particular thing. It has to be during work hours. Then you can say that in that time you were his worker and this is what he was doing to you. But then if it's outside work, the law cannot do anything about it because I mean it's out of work hours and you can be his girlfriend after work hours. Who knows? So she should really, really prepare. She should be really determined to do what is right.
Right.
Because biblically, like even if we go by the Bible, there are so many instances that God puts us in certain situations that are trials, that are temptations, and all of those things. And He's not going to come down Himself to come in, slap the man, or do something to him, or like create a miraculous thing to get you out of what you're going through. You have to be able to do something for yourself. You have to be able to stand on your ground that no, I worked for this. I am a legitimate person. I do think professionally. I'm a religious. I'm a Christian. I do this. I do things rightfully, and so I'm not going to allow this. And just like Joseph said, in the worst case scenario, you'll be sacked. That's what is going to happen.
Yeah.
They'll sack you. and it might take a toll on your mental health. It might take a toll on your CV. I mean, why were you sacked from it? Because if you're applying for another job, why were you sacked from your other job? Oh, my boss made sexual advancements towards me and I reported him. Some organizations do not want to be associated with, sorry to say, victims of sexual assault. They are not going to want to be associated with such people because you might not even be mentally stable to work effectively. So she should do the right thing, honestly, by reporting him, and she should get her facts right. She should get everything, every kind of substantial proof she has. She should do her best to get everything, because if you take it to court and he has a really good lawyer that's going to defend him, you're going to look, sorry to say, stupid in court. You look like you don't have a case, because even though it may be happening, what is your proof that it's actually happening? Like, what is your proof that he actually did this to you? It's not just by word of mouth. It's not just by witnesses who would come and testify against him. You need to have one-on-one conversations with him that is very evident that he made sexual advances towards you, and you clearly told him no. It's not about saying, oh, because media, I cannot do that to.
Oh yeah.
Nah, you have to be really, really like firm in your position that no, I'm not going to do it. Because if you give him the slightest idea that okay, you want to do it, but then you feel like if somebody catches you, it's going to be some way, then you don't have a case.
Yeah.
But then if you are saying that no, like this a direct no, I'm not going to do it, and you report him to the proper authorities, you report him to the head of the company or something like that, then she should be ready for anything that's going to come away, because people will bash her, other people too, back her, but then it's all for her own good. It's for her own good, because if no matter what, just like Evie said, no matter what, he's going to sack you because you didn't give in to his
demand.
Advance. Yeah, you didn't agree to him, so he's going to sack you anyway. So you might as well just both be sacked.
True. She might as well take that route. And also, he's already humiliating you in the office. So if going out to speak your truth is some form of humiliation, so be it. After all, he is just talking down to you and making you feel less of. We'll have to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at, others will say, hey, in this Ghana, you have a job and you're going to jeopardize it. Is it wise?
Go for it.
She should find a way to manage the situation so she doesn't lose her job. Because out there, hey, there are sharks there. Is she not going to start all over again? These are all legit concerns that she may have. And so when we come back, we'll look at that. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk. We'll be right back.
As a small business owner, Mitaisha Business Forum, our Hope channel, it really helps me with my business.
Don't let your priorities be because obi eye bibinti. Also we share some wide. Why wankasa sawasa. So we jani niya we biani.
Okay.
Obi ani need so that unko fa a problem in my house.
In the first place, business a risk.
Okay.
It's just all about risk. Now pursue your business, so now you need you should be a risk taker.
Okay.
I would recommend it to you to Mesresa also Beshebi.
Adofunom Jinyasi SD asori no enyemfie aduasa. Hallelujah. Enu nti wahyehyɛ dwumadi ahodo a wodidi emfie aduasa afididei. Enu pa ho a eda memenda November bosome ne da etoso du baako. Ena wodi afidida no ankasa ewo Jinyasi SD asori ho a. Asempo eda afididei so. Brofo kasem wo se 30 years of hope in the advent of Christ. I will go. Jumadie wa tunsa frem penifo kuku damedidi suwe. Honorable Kwame Oseprempe, CEO, Goyle Ghana, Onuni Jamtina Nima Jumadie. Special guest, Honorable Patricia Piaje, Asukwa MP, and Honorable Akonyose Jima, Asukwa MCE. Guest speaker, Pastor Dr. Kwame Anobwahe, Northern Ghana Union Conference President, Honorable Simon Osemensa, Ashanti Regional Minister, and the guest of honor, Pastor Dr. Samuel Enchimensa, South Central Ghana Conference President, Pastor Frederick Mensa, Ahensan District Pastor, Pastor Dr. Kwabena Anobwafo, and the Sofu Penina, Jumadie Nina Sininaso, Adeshamaima, Memenda Kwahefo, Moma Yenina Yenshie, Ewo Jinyasi SD sorry, 11th November 2023, Na Yen Kamum Eni Infedia Sanfidi Day, Ebeneza, Dianyame Edene Mabedruni. Sankai Boy Efri, Protocol and Communication Bureau, Yawo Jinyasi SD sorry.
Now you go through.
Welcome back from that quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, and we are coming your way with Real Talk. We are talking about this sad story of this very young girl who, after national service, got the opportunity to become the personal assistant of her new manager. He handpicked her to be the personal assistant, and then almost like the good deal ended because he started asking her out, you know, making advances towards her. She said she rejected him politely, and that was not enough. Now he went ahead to ask her out. So in this case, proposed to her. And she said no, and since then he has demoted her from being a personal assistant. And aside that, he keeps giving her overwhelming tasks that she cannot achieve the target, and that leads to insults, humiliations, just, you know, badgering her left, right, center. And now she doesn't know what to do, and she's thinking she should probably report him to the head office. But she's worried what she may go through, the actions that they may level against her. And so that's what we are trying to help her with. And I've been doing this with Joseph, Eric, and Efua. So far we've talked about a lot of things that she can do. But before we go, I want to ask, you know, the truth of the matter is, it's difficult to get jobs in Ghana. Now, and it's not even a joke. Getting a job in Ghana is hard. I can't even describe that.
Super hard.
It's really, really hard. And when you do get some, you want to hold on to it with everything that you have. And now this girl is faced with this. The right thing is to let go. But somebody will ask, she's young. She's now starting out. Going home to go and stay doesn't look like a good option. Eric even said, you know, maybe she's the one who is supporting her family. Will it be wise for her to quit? Do you think she can stay and manage the situation?
There is no management in this. Like we said, 99.9% of these issues do not end well. You would think you are giving in for just once.
No.
Before you realize you are going to give in to all the bosses in the office, because he's going to just talk about, hey, I had my way with her.
Yeah.
Go ahead, just push it a little bit. So there is never going to be a very good end to this.
Yeah.
So like we are saying, trust me, use the resources you have. In a situation where, once again, I'm saying this, there is no system, or the systems, like my brother was quoting all these labor laws, perfect.
But they're not working.
But these are not working. So in a situation where it is not working, what you have to be is, like you have to do is, be firm. Like Efua said, be firm, be consistent. Do not give in easily. Like, do not give in at all. right from the get-go, put an end to this. Do not give him the room to think, oh, if I push further, if I go ahead and humiliate her more, she probably will be fed up and she'll just give in. Yeah. So, like we said, as a young person, and I'll chip in the story, that one I was telling you, somebody before I left this country, somebody came to look for a job, and a boss wanted to sleep with her. But then this girl told the boss she was the first child to 6 kids. She had everything that we were looking for. We're looking for a secondary school. This girl had HND. So she told the boss right to his face, I would rather go and sell and be a hawker on the street than to give my body to you. She trusted in God. We are Christians, so it's good that we preach to the people that listen to us.
Absolutely.
At this point, you cannot use your own resources, or you cannot lean on your own strength. You need God in this. So if you are only faithful to God, I believe God will make a way out of it. Right. This girl said no to my boss or whoever I was working with, walked out of the door crying. Couple weeks went by, she came back to the office in a very good job, better than the job I was doing. And she came to actually see my boss and tell my boss that you are not God and you don't have the final say. Yeah. So I believe in this thing that it's never going to end well with you. Right. So just use the resources, report, go to the channels, put in your evidences, then pray and just ask God to give you a way.
Yeah. That's just, I think sharing the story was so important because it will make her know that others have been in your situation, and even in worse situations, and they did not give up, and they came out successfully, and that's all we can encourage you to do. Eric, you know, again, like I was saying, look at our economic climate. It's terrible. I mean, everybody is struggling, but then, you know, people get jobs and they are excited, they want to hold on to it. So someone will say, is there a way she can manage? Is there a way she can handle the situation so that she doesn't lose her job and start all over again? It is very fortunate to finish your national service and get a permanent job. That one day, I'm not even going to lie. Because after national service, if you don't go home, they'll come and do contracts. It's very rare for you to finish national service and get a permanent, good paying job. So is there a way around it? Or in this case, she should just, you know, report and probably leave?
Okay, once again, I will thank you, Effie, for the opportunity. And there is always life in a group becomes transitional, whereas everyone is protecting his or her interest. So at the end of the day, the manager or the officer is protecting his interest, you know. And there is this future article that's quickly I just want to brush through by one Joel Savage. He's a freelancer and an author. He says, sex before employment. Why do some bosses do that in Ghana? Just to make it brief, it is no more secret in Ghana as women are constantly being sexually harassed in the workplaces, and bosses demand sex from ladies or applicants before being employed. And just to make it snappy, you know, the major reason why some married women, I started by saying, you know, we should make this discussion so broad, and not to limit it to this particular lady alone. So one major reason is that some married women continue having relationship with their bosses just to keep their jobs, for the welfare of their families, as I earlier said, which is also, you know, a bad omen. And most of the bosses continue to, you know, have that freedom to have sexual, you know, thing with, you know, the lady or whatever the situation is. Sometimes they don't even care if you are married or not. But the major thing that you were saying, you know, employment has become so hard. You even said not hard. You said hard.
Hard.
I like
stress that word. Hard.
That's the reality, because everyone is trying to protect his or her interest. So imagine, you know, as a fresh student. I remember I was in Ghana just somewhere February that I got to know that my sister Bravo was having a graduation. So imagine as a fresh graduate like Brago, let me use her as an example, and having an opportunity, to go to the field of job, as we all know, how very difficult to get job. And she has such an opportunity. So you think Brago will just let it go like that? No, because it's very hard, very difficult to get job. So at the end of the day, that is why, as Ghanaians, the country is still, sinking into abyss. Because we feel that at the end of the day, if I go out there to report, I lose my job. So why then don't I keep I keep my mouth shut? Not to let anybody hear over it, then I just protect my job. That is what is going on, at least about 80% of it. I remember, posting this topic on my platform, and there were a whole lot of testimony coming.
Yeah,
that, I have something to share, I have something to share, I have something to share. Meaning, a whole lot of people out there, have so many things to share with us. And that is the problem as a country. We are not able to, face this, because there are lack of jobs. So it's quite unfortunate. Our little sister is going through this kind of situation, because she feels that at the end of the day, if she doesn't just stay put, keep going and just continue with this job, and feels like she's going out there to report, it's going to be a whole lot of discrepancies that she will go through. Right. So for me personally, by ending my submission, I think the law must work.
Yeah.
The law must work. That's why the NLC, is there to support, to help. So if you are in a country and our laws are not working, that is where, we continue to have problems day in and day out. So if people have been used as scapegoats, for me personally, I think there'll be changes day in and day out. But if not that, you'll be here, every time discussing this back and forth, but to not getting the right solution to the matter. So, like I'm saying, the lady must go ahead, report. Even, it's very good just to lose your job, because at the end of the day, don't forget that your image, your reputation is also very, very important.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if you say, no, I don't care, staying in it, and probably anything of that sort happens to you, your own cup of tea.
Yeah.
So let's move ahead. We should make sure that our laws work, so that we all move the nation forward as a country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. Absolutely agree. If we're, unfortunately, our time is fast spent, I want you to talk about this, the question that I asked earlier. Is there a way she can manage, or you think the only solution is for her to report? And also, your final words for the lady, so that we can go.
Well, honestly, just like Joseph said, there's no management in this particular situation. Unless you'd want to say that it's just sex, and you just want to go ahead, because people are doing it blindly without even taking any incentives, without even taking any payments for the sex that they have with other people. So if this person is paying, why wouldn't I go ahead? But then you should bear in mind, especially as a Christian, it's not everything that comes easy that is meant for you. And it's not everything that comes difficult that is meant for you. It's not every temptation that you go through that you have to endure. Some of the things you have to flee. You have to leave it. You have to drop it totally, absolutely. You just have to do everything in your strength to flee from it, because even God advises us not to fraternize with sinful people who sin and all of those things. So honestly, there's no management around this. It's either she leaves, or I don't know, she just has to leave as a good Christian. If she's willing to uphold her faith as a Christian, as a religious person, she has to leave. She has to report this man, and if she's lucky that he's dealt with, then she's okay. But then if they don't do anything about it, she just has to leave and find work elsewhere. Because in the end, you're going to be humiliated if they find out that you actually given into whatever was going on, and then they find out about it, and then they expose both of you on basis of sexual involvement with a man, is going to be far more humiliating rather than reporting him to the public that this is what he's trying to do, and you've told him clearly that no.
You don't, yeah.
People are going to bash you, but then it's better. It's better than going ahead with it and then being humiliated in the end anyway, because he's not going to be with you. Let's be honest. He's not going to be with you till other people will come. Other attractive ladies will come, and he might move to them. I mean,
yeah.
So you might as well just stop and save your dignity, save yourself the embarrassment and the humiliation that's going to come anyway. Absolutely. You just have to stop.
Yeah.
Because just like I said, it's not every temptation that you have to endure. It's not every trial that comes your way that is meant to test your faith as a Christian that you have to endure. No, some of the things you have to leave. Yeah. And whatever the Lord has planned for you will come to it. You just have to pray more. You just have to seek proper counsel from God and just leave everything to God, because these things are not going to be solved by human strength, no matter what you do. Even the law is not helping you, so you might as well just leave. She just has to leave,
honestly. She should leave and leave everything to God. Joseph, in a sentence, your final words.
We've said a lot, and I hope she's listening or watching us right now. So hey, the system did not work. So just like if I ended, flee, leave, and leave everything to God.
Yeah. Eric, in a sentence, your final words.
I should say the National Labour Commission should help just to make sure the laws work. They should walk the talk to salvage all this situation our women are going through. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. Efwa, thank you. Eric, thank you. Joseph, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning in and watching. With this young lady, my prayer is that you find the strength to go ahead and report. And when you see that it's becoming a foolish case, the company is probably not doing anything about it, you should just quit. It will be better for you to quit than to be fired, because that goes on your record. Just quit. And this idea of you don't know what may happen and Ghana is hard. Yes, there's no doubt about it. The country is hard. But the same way you didn't know that you're going to get this opportunity is the same way you don't know what God has in store for you.
Exactly.
So just pray about it. And if you have to do something on the side, any side gig that you can do, whatever, if it's cooking, if it's selling, anything, just find something to do until you find that opportunity again. And I'm sure that you'll be able to get back on your feet and then probably meet that same boss in some few years and tell him in his face, because God has done it, Do not give in to the pressure. Do not give in to the humiliation, everything that he's doing. He is humiliated that you rejected him. And so he's going to do everything he can to make you feel bad. And trust me, you are not the first person he's done this with, and you are not going to be the last person he's going to do this with. And that is why I hope he stopped, because he will continue doing if he doesn't stop. By you reporting him puts a dent in his character. So I truly believe you should report him, so that at least if they do nothing about it at all, it's on file that he tried something with one girl. Yes, and he was reported. At least that will go against him. But then we are praying for you, and we are hoping that this ends well. Just continue to pray, believe God. Go ahead and report, find the right people to confide in, and I'm sure you'll be fine. We'll be back same time next week with yet another exciting conversation on Real Talk. But until then, please continue to watch the rest of the content on Hope TV Ghana. Enjoy your evening. My name is Evie, and I'll be back same time next week.